Hi guys, today I'd like to share with you something that, a mistake I think I made last summer. I think I mentioned these fragrances. I'm not sure if I did. I think I've mentioned what I bought this summer. Now I haven't really given these fragrances a proper wearing yet, or one of them I have actually. Um, but it was kind of in the middle of the summer, and these are kind of wintry fragrances. Okay, one of them is Amouage Overture Woman. Look at that bottle. This is risky right there. When you see such a beautiful bottle and you just feel like a craving to hold it, to own it, beware. This is not a good thing because the juice really counts, right? Because you're not even supposed to have this on display. I mean, and I don't really have many people to show it off for anyway. My kids are like not impressed with my perfume at all. And now this is like my most expensive fragrance. I paid full retail for this, $330 when I was in Poland. This was in Warsaw at the, let's see, Quality Misala Perfumery, I think it was called. It's actually in the Hotel Marriott, kind of in the center of Warsaw. And they have a great selection there, like 90 different niche houses all in one place. It was an incredible visit. But I was kind of on a time budget. You know, my kids were waiting. I didn't have all day. And I'm really kind of intrigued with Amouage kind of as a house. This is a house from Oman. These fragrances are really like oriental leaning. Many of them, or most of them maybe even have incense in the base. It's a kind of a note that I'm kind of getting to know more and more and liking more and more. And I know also historically, like when Amouage first launched, when they came out, this was like something new to the Western market anyway. I mean, they're in the Middle East, but like these fragrances were something new, something different from what was already out there. And now there are many houses that make more fragrances maybe like this. I've just kind of, and I had just tried Epic Woman from my friend. I had gone through a decant. I was really kind of thought I would buy a bottle of that. But then I thought, no, you know, she has a bottle. Maybe I can get another decant from her and I'll get something else. And then I didn't kind of, and I know sometimes that the ones at the counter that I like at the counter aren't necessarily the ones that I'll continue to like. I might get bored with them, and I thought this was a little bit of a challenge. But I think the bottle really got me. That was one thing. And then also, I have a tendency to like really masculine fragrances when I'm at the counter. And then when I come home, I realize they're really masculine. I think maybe this represents, you know, the longing for meeting a new man, maybe. I'd like to smell it on somebody else, but not on myself. So this is like a really boozy apple, brandy, saffron, rose. And most people on Fragrantica, I mean, only 147 people have actually, you know, written anything about it, say that leather is a really prominent note. To my nose, it isn't really. But it has that, I think, and there's cinnamon. Cinnamon's really strong note as well. It has myrrh, it has labdanum. It's like a lot of these deep, dark, heavy notes all kind of mashed together. I don't know what it is. This is just, it is just so much. Just by taking the cap off, it kind of fills the room, and I just can't get myself to wear it yet. I've worn it like once, kind of, like for part of the day, and I oversprayed it, and my son one day wore it, and I swear it smelled, the whole house smelled like this, and he had taken 4 sprays of it. I did actually, no, I did. I sent, yeah, I've actually I've sent a decant of this to somebody. So I didn't actually spray all that. So I'm going to wear this winter. Hopefully I'll be able to get back to you and say that it was a success after all. But I have the feeling that even if I really like it, it would have been enough for me to get a 5 or 10 ml decant. And I don't need 100 ml. Far from it. And I don't know. This is like the only boozy fragrance in my entire collection. And I think that it's a little bit gourmandish. It's pretty sweet. Like Calvados, you know, it's like a liqueur or something that's based on apples. It smells like that. It has that kind of accord in there. But the bottle is stunning. I know that I've also heard many YouTubers say that this is a much more masculine than feminine fragrance, and maybe the marketing towards women was a mistake in this case. I think they should just let go of that man and woman thing and just market them to everyone, because I really love the Amouage man fragrances like Reflection and Lyric Man I've worn today. It's just beautiful. I love those fragrances. Anyway, the second one that I also paid full retail price for, this was in Budapest. It was at Cherry Garden. This is in an indie house called Anka Kus Parfüm. And I think it's I think maybe the perfumer has a different background. Maybe he's Turkish or something, because Anka Kus, the S has a little, like a little hook underneath, and Parfüm, there's two dots over the U, so it doesn't sound very English to me. But I think they're out of Australia, this is super, super potent as well. It's also masculine leaning. It's also pretty sweet and has quite a few notes in common with Overture Woman from Amouage. This Ember, it's called. This has oud and the other one doesn't. But they have a lot of notes in common. This has birch tar and that one has leather, but those notes are used to create that leather kind of feeling. They both have olibanum, they both have cinnamon, they both have several of those strong notes. So they're kind of like this in the same ballpark, I would say. Like, they're just, I don't know, they're just so, I think this one has tobacco. Let's see, I wrote this down. Yeah, it has tobacco. They both have myrrh. This one has ambergris. They both have rose. They're quite oriental, like both of them oriental. This has cedar and tonka, the other one doesn't, but labdanum they both have. They're very kind of, I think they're actually quite similar. This one has a booziness about it as well. I don't know. These might both have been mistakes, very expensive mistakes. $180 for this, $330 for this. That is ridiculous. To pay those kind of prices for something that I'll wear seldom. I already know now that if I start liking them, it'll still be kind of one of those fragrances that I wear very seldom, kind of like Oud Bouquet or Oud Satin Mood, or what was the fragrance I mentioned the other day? Encens Suave. I just have a vial of that, thank God. It's really heavy. I think it's just, I just can't get my, it takes a lot of energy to kind of like process strong perfume. And I think those two are a little on the strong side. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try them like just one drop, like one spray, and just kind of like put it, kind of divide it all over my skin kind of, and then just stay home and just pay attention to what happens. And maybe it's just like really, really great in the dry down. I just want to kind of share with you at this stage that I don't want you to do this. Don't get blown away, by a beautiful bottle, especially if something's full retail price. I think the problem was that I was on a trip and I didn't have enough time. And I really kind of wanted to buy something. I saw it. This was a part of my vacation. It was kind of part of the entertainment of the vacation, because I was kind of on a family thing with my kids. Anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts on these fragrances. I'm really curious to know if you have tried this Ember, because obviously only 18 people on Fragrantica have actually written anything about it. Or if you have tried Overture Woman from Amouage. And if you have been to these fantastic shops, Cherry Garden in Budapest, or this Quality Misala perfumery or something in Warsaw, if you haven't gone there, please try to make a mental note of that you should visit these places if you happen to be in these incredible cities. It's so worth a visit. I really love going there. The only thing I didn't like is that both places have kind of like a no spray policy. Like they don't want the customer to spray the blotters. They spray the blotters. They write on the blotters with a pencil and put them all out. Maybe it's something that happened during COVID, perhaps. I think after I'd been in Cherry Garden for like 2 hours, they were letting me do whatever I wanted, but I kind of felt like I want to do my own thing. I love to get good service. It's not that, but I also want to be able to decide how much to spray. I don't want them to spray on my skin, because that's what they do. They spray on blotters. When I was ready for my skin, I could just hold my hand out. I kind of want to do it myself, and I want to feel that they trust me to do this. And I'm not quite sure what the rules were, but I was being really good about their rules, although I don't really appreciate them. Anyway, that was today's video.